Have you ever wondered how we can make air travel more sustainable? As we venture deeper into the 21st century, sustainability has become the watchword for our times. From the food we eat to the cars we drive, many aspects of our lives are undergoing a green revolution. But what about air travel? Traditionally, the aviation industry has been fuel-heavy, relying on vast amounts of fossil fuels which contribute significantly to greenhouse gas emissions. But there's good news on the horizon. The concept of Sustainable Aviation Fuel, or SAF, is starting to take flight. This innovative solution promises to revolutionize the way we fly, making air travel not just possible, but sustainable for generations to come. It's a beacon of hope in a world increasingly concerned about the impact of climate change. But what exactly is Sustainable Aviation Fuel and how does it work? Well, buckle up, and let's dive into the fascinating world of SAF. Sustainable Aviation Fuel, often abbreviated as SAF, is not as complex as it may initially seem. Let's dive into it. To begin with, the name itself gives us a clue. Sustainable refers to the source of the fuel, which is not finite resources like petroleum, but renewable sources. Aviation is pretty self-explanatory. It's fuel for aircraft. Now, fuel is where it gets interesting. Unlike traditional fuel, SAF is not a product of petroleum refining, but an outcome of innovative processes that convert renewable resources into aviation fuel. But what are these renewable resources? Well, they are diverse and abundant. They range from waste oils from biological origin, such as used cooking oil and animal fat, to agri-residues like straw and husks. Even non-fossil CO2 and algae can be used to produce SAF. Essentially, anything that was once living and has carbon in it can potentially be used to produce this fuel. The key is to make sure the resources are sustainably sourced, avoiding deforestation or competition with food crops. The process of producing SAF involves several steps. First, the feedstock, or raw material, is collected and treated to remove impurities. Next, it's converted into a synthetic gas through a process called gasification. This synthetic gas is then converted into a liquid fuel through a process known as Fischer-Tropsch, named after the two German scientists who developed it. The liquid fuel is then treated and upgraded to meet aviation fuel standards. The result? A cleaner burning, sustainable fuel that can be used in today's aircraft engines without any modifications. It's like giving planes a green makeover without having to change their engines. But wait, there's more. SAF is not just about reducing carbon emissions. It's also about creating new jobs in green industries, reducing waste, and driving innovation in renewable energy technologies. It's about paving the way for a sustainable future in aviation. So how is this different from traditional jet fuel? Well, let's delve into that in the next scene. Stay tuned. At first glance, sustainable aviation fuel might not seem all that different from regular jet fuel. Indeed, when it comes to powering our planes and getting us from point A to point B, both fuels do the job quite well. They both ignite and burn in a similar manner, providing the necessary thrust to propel aircraft through the skies. These similarities are by no means accidental. SAF is designed to be drop-in fuel, meaning it can be used in existing engines and infrastructure without any modifications. But as we delve deeper, we begin to uncover the fundamental differences between these two fuels. The primary divergence lies not in their functionality, but in their source and their impact on the environment. Traditional jet fuel is derived from petroleum, a finite and non-renewable resource. Its extraction and refining processes are energy-intensive and contribute significantly to global greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, when combusted, jet fuel releases carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas, further exacerbating the problem of global warming. On the other hand, sustainable aviation fuel is derived from renewable resources like waste oils, agricultural residues, and non-food crops. The production of SAF involves capturing and recycling carbon dioxide, creating a circular carbon cycle. This means that while SAF does emit carbon dioxide when burned, the same amount is absorbed during its production, resulting in a net zero carbon footprint. Moreover, SAF is not just a greener alternative, but a more efficient one as well. Studies have shown that SAF can provide the same amount of energy as traditional jet fuel, but with up to 80% less carbon emissions over its life cycle. This makes SAF not just an environmentally friendly choice, but a smart one too. So while SAF and traditional jet fuel might seem similar in their function, they are worlds apart in their impact on our planet. The transition to SAF represents a significant stride towards a more sustainable future for aviation. But can we just switch to SAF overnight? Moving from traditional jet fuel to SAF is not as simple as flipping a switch. It's a matter of technology, infrastructure, costs, and more. Let's dive into these challenges and the ongoing efforts to overcome them. A crucial challenge is the current infrastructure. Today's systems are designed to handle conventional jet fuel, not SAF. Retrofitting these systems or building new ones is a massive undertaking. It's not just about the equipment at airports, but also the broader supply chain, from production facilities to transportation networks. To make SAF a reality, we need to reimagine and rebuild these systems from the ground up. Then we come to cost. As of today, SAF is more expensive than traditional jet fuel. The price tag reflects the cost of raw materials, production, and the aforementioned infrastructure changes. However, the hope is that as the technology matures and economies of scale kick in, these costs will come down. Availability of raw materials is another hurdle. SAF is produced from sustainable sources, like waste oils and non-food crops. But these resources are not unlimited. To produce SAF on a large scale, we need a steady, reliable supply of these raw materials. This means investing in sustainable agriculture and waste management systems, which is no small feat. Despite these hurdles, there's an incredible amount of research and development happening right now to make SAF a practical reality. Scientists are exploring new production methods to drive down costs and increase efficiency. Engineers are designing next-gen infrastructure to handle SAF, and policymakers are crafting regulations to encourage its use. The transition to SAF is a complex, multifaceted challenge. It demands innovation, investment, and collaboration across sectors and borders. But the potential payoff is huge. A more sustainable and resilient aviation industry with less impact on our planet. So, is it worth all this effort? Let's explore that in our next segment. The benefits of sustainable aviation fuel go beyond just reducing carbon emissions. Yes, you heard it right. The promise of SAF is far-reaching, touching not just our environment but also the aviation industry and the economy at large. Let's kick off with the environment. The environmental impact of SAF is its most compelling selling point. It's a green alternative to conventional jet fuel, capable of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by up to a whopping 80%. That's almost like taking every single car off the road in a small country. Imagine that. And here's the cherry on top. SAF is made from waste products and non-food crops, which means it doesn't compete with food production or contribute to deforestation. It's a win-win situation for Mother Earth and for us, her inhabitants. Moving on to the aviation industry. It's no secret that aviation has been under the spotlight for its contribution to global warming. But with SAF, the industry has a real chance to clean up its act. The use of SAF can help airlines achieve their carbon neutrality goals, making air travel not just feasible but sustainable in the long run. Now let's talk about the economy. The production and use of SAF can create new jobs and stimulate economic growth. It's a new industry with enormous potential. Imagine the opportunities for farmers growing the feedstocks, for scientists developing more efficient production methods, for workers in the new SAF refineries. The ripple effect could be significant. And let's not forget the geopolitical implications. Countries dependent on imported fossil fuels could gain energy independence by producing their own SAF. That's a game changer on the world stage. So you see, the impact of SAF is far-reaching. It's more than just a cleaner fuel. It's a catalyst for change, a tool for sustainability, and a beacon for progress. Sustainable aviation fuel, a significant step towards a greener future. Indeed, the future looks brighter with SAF in the mix. It's clear that sustainable aviation fuel holds great promise for the future of air travel. We've delved into the ins and outs of this innovative fuel, from its basic composition to its comparison with traditional jet fuel. We've examined the process of transitioning to SAF and the remarkable impact it can have on our environment. But the journey doesn't end here. The world of sustainable practices is continually evolving, and it's crucial for us to stay informed. Ask questions, seek answers, and never stop learning. We must remember that the challenges we face with SAF, such as production scalability and economic feasibility, are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to a cleaner, greener future. Our skies hold an immense potential for growth and transformation. And it's up to us to tap into that potential by encouraging sustainability in all aspects of life. Remember, every small step towards sustainability makes a big difference. Let's make our skies greener, one flight at a time. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about sustainable solutions, Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Let's make our skies greener, one video at a time.